Welcome to today's video. I'm the Hooded Lid, and today is the second video in a series of 3 on under-eye concealers for mature skin. First, a little bit about me. Today's my birthday. I'm 58. Yay. And underneath my eyes is a war zone. It's not so good. There are plenty of women out there who aren't so bad under the eyes. They don't have darkness. I do. They don't have puffiness. I do. They don't really have lines. I do. And they don't really have wrinkles. I do. I got it all. Yay me. Also, the puffiness kind of makes for darkness right through here because it acts as a mountain. So there's a lot going on. Many months ago, I took a look at an old video from Nikki Tutorials where she took a beauty blender and pounded on, you know, the usual YouTuber thing. And while it's true, my concealer did not crease. It sucked any moisture that was under my eyes out, and all of my lines were emphasized. That's something I'm trying to avoid. So for me, I don't want something to crease. I don't want something to take all my moisture out. I don't want something to be a color that's not natural. I don't want to call attention to my under eyes. I don't want to look like I have too much on. I have a lot of things that I don't want. What I do want is, I don't know what I want. I don't think it's possible. I would really want all this to be gone, but it's not. That's my reality. And if that's your reality, this video might be interesting for you. Here's how it works. I come on and I put on the concealer. I powder one side, I leave the other side unpowdered. I come back in an hour. The reason I come back in an hour is if it's going to crease, it's not going to crease in 4 hours. It's going to crease in an hour. In fact, if I find something that doesn't crease until 4 hours later, that's a win as far as I'm concerned. Then I'll read you the claims and we'll take a look at what's going on. We're doing 3 today. And if it sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. Here we go. Good morning. I just put on my foundation, and today we're going to try one that I both have high hopes for, and I recognize the color is really, really off. And that is an oldie. And mine is particularly old. This is the Giorgio Armani. I think it's called Precision Concealer. And what I like about this is it's really, really thin. Nice little thin wand, right there. Let me move you in. So it's right there. And the reason I like something really thin, or the idea of something really thin, is if it's really thin, it might not be able to crease. Like the thicker ones, more likely to crease, right? This color is very wrong for me. So the look isn't going to be fabulous, but let's do it. I would prefer finger, but my finger isn't going to get the nooks and crannies. That's a lot of coverage. I mean, it's promising if it wasn't the color was not good. This has been around for a long time, but I don't really see people talking about it, and that could be because it's been around longer than a lot of the people on YouTube, or because it's not new. I'm going to go with a dry beauty blender. And try to get that point in the trough so nothing is accumulating there from the get-go. Just get it right over here. Now, to me the color's not really, really bad, but usually in the camera you can see things that my naked eye can't see. So far, I like. I do want to powder this, so I'm getting my Tarte powder, which seems to work really well under the eyes. Putting a little bit on the brush. My guess is this will get it a little darker. I think it looks really, really nice. One of the problems about this particular concealer is it's hard to find in person. I don't think I've ever seen it in person at Sephora, so you have to order these online. And on the sites I went to, and I think I went to the Giorgio Armani site as well, they don't tell you anything about what the color is. This is pretty yellow to me. There's nothing neutral about this, and this is 3.5. And I'll be back in an hour, maybe longer, and we'll see how it's doing. I'm back. It's only an hour later, you guys, and I'm back early because, well, I have a reason. Let me pull you in. This eye, this started creasing within 15 minutes, and I mean bad. This one, there's a little bit of troughing. So my theory of it's thicker, it won't trough, that theory, not so much. This one, it's a little bit radiant. Let's see. We can kind of just press it down. I'm kind of torn on this one. Like almost everything else that I've tried, it troughs. I can expect that. The trough is very deep. The creasing itself on the eye, it seemed like I was getting some on this, but you know what? Now looking at it, it might not be creasing. No, it is creasing here, but this side not so much, and this side powdered. Now, I want to read to you a little bit about what they're saying. Brighten your complexion with a highlighting concealer specifically formulated to target dark circles, shadows, and blemishes. Infused with light reflecting pearls and vitamin E, the hydrating formula diffuses light for optimal results and significantly more radiant skin. Concealer includes high definition applicator, I mean, I would hope so, all skin types. There are only 7 shades and it's $40 and it's small. There's not a lot of product in here, but a little goes a long way. Again, there's no description. A bird is hopping around in here. Hi, birdie. What's up? Okay, we'll see you later. There's no description of these colors on the Giorgio Armani website. There's just swatches, and when I say swatches, I mean not hand swatches, not eye swatches, just boxes with colors in them, making it very hard to figure out what color might work. I can tell you that the 3.5 feels a little too yellow, and I could probably do with a 3. I mean, I don't know what else. It's not drying. It's not moisturizing either, so if you're looking for something that's creamy and feels good, you're not going to get this, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel heavy. It does cover. And it is radiant. Even though I did powder this, I see a little bit of radiance coming through, but it's not the kind of radiance that calls attention to puffiness, in my opinion. So I feel like this is worth exploring a little bit more, like as in swatching. If I can find a good color, I might buy this and see what happens. But I am not done with all my concealers, so we will continue on. Alright you guys, today we are going to do the NARS Soft Matte in Custard. When I first got this, I loved it. I thought it was such an interesting formula because it seemed to actually melt into the skin with the heat of my fingers. And I don't really know why I stopped. I guess I just kind of started looking into other things. I did not find this to look drying or to feel drying, but it's not, now that I'm doing all these other concealers, I feel like it's not the most moisturized look, but it doesn't look drying. But I haven't worn this in a while, so I'm going to move you in a little bit. We're going to apply it, and then we will come back and I'll read you all the claims and see how it looks in an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. This is something I like to put on with my finger, and one thing I really love about this custard color. This color seems really, really nice for me. Well, I remember this color being really nice on me. I do have another color that's quite a bit lighter. And just melt this puppy in. And it's kind of seamless. It's probably the fastest concealer that I own. Not bad. I don't even powder this, and I'm not sure I'm going to do an eye-to-eye test powdered and unpowdered because this doesn't need it. I don't have a fear that it's going to travel or crease on me because it doesn't have an emollients. So even though this is technically a cream, it's not creamy, where I have something else that I'm going to be trying that is very creamy and seems to migrate and settle immediately. Really, really like it. All right, we will be back soon. I'll read the claims and we'll see how it's doing. I'm back. It's only about an hour later, but I was looking at my 13X and I noticed we got some stuff going on here. There's troughing. Now, I'm not going to mention any more. Troughing is something to be expected, but I'm kind of surprised I got it from this one on both sides. And it just doesn't look all that smooth. So I said earlier I wasn't going to do a one-to-one, you know, one side powder, one side not. I am. So I'm going to smooth this out with my fingers and put some powder on. Get rid of the trough. And I'm kind of surprised at the radiance coming through. It's not shiny, like an uncomfortable radiance, but it's surprising considering that this is a cream and it's not a shiny cream. So we're going to do a little powder and then I will be back. I may or may not go run an errand. Kind of want to, but it requires getting dressed, so it's iffy. But I'll be back. Now this is what I usually do with my soft matte, is little glasses rub off, a little NARS, and there. That's how I've been using it for a while now, but let's check the under eyes. I've been outside working in the garden and it's hot. Then I went to my neighbor's and hung out in her garden, and there's no creasing. I powdered and there's a little creasing on this eye. So even though this has a soft matte finish, a teeny bit of powder is going to help it out. It does look a teeny bit dry, I'm not going to lie, but my skin is really dry right now. I want to read to you the information that we have. What it is: a full coverage, oil-free concealer that conceals and blurs imperfections with a soft matte natural look. Coverage is full, finish is matte, but it's soft matte. Formulation is cream, normal dry, combo oily. Highlighted ingredients are peptides, which reduce the appearance of wrinkles and pores over time. We could talk about peptides. Hyaluronic acid, which is a hydrator. Antioxidants A, C, and E deliver daily defense. What else you need to know? NARS Soft Focus Smoothing Complex contains optimal diffusing powder, which transforms the look of skin by blurring imperfections with light diffusing spears. The formula delivers all-day wear and high coverage that's non-cakey, won't settle into fine lines and pores. I don't really use this on my face, so pores aren't a concern. Well, I use it around my nose, which it doesn't stay, right? The glasses are going to rub everything off. But I don't mind it. And I have to say it's the fastest of everything I've tried so far, because it's just boop, boop, boop. It melts into your skin. You don't have to go in with a beauty blender. You don't have to finesse it at all. Now I'm going to move you in. And there we have it. Right here, where we usually go into the trough, no troughing. Here, remember, I blended this out when I did the powder. There's a little troughing, and it looks pretty dry on that side of my face altogether. This side of my face is aging faster than this side of my face. But I don't mind it at all, you guys. If you have oily skin, you might really like this. If you're just in a hurry and you just need to get something done so you can get out of the house, I think this is ideal. And I think this is great for the face too. So I usually use it right around here when I'm coming to shoot something after I put on my makeup and I'm wearing my glasses. Even though I always put a little piece of paper towel up here so this doesn't rub off. Inevitably, it does anyway. All right, so that is it for NARS Soft Matte. And today we are going to be doing by Terry. This is the Denseless. I could be pronouncing it wrong. And it's not inexpensive. It's about 60 bucks. Let's see. Oh, more than that. It's $69 for 7 mil. Now everything else that I have been looking at says ounce and mil, and this just says mil, and I guess I could have converted it, but I didn't think to do that. It only comes in 6 shades. So for a lot of people that checks off some boxes. Really expensive, not a lot of shades. But if you are dry under the eye, this is something that I think you need to take into consideration. Let's do some application and then I will come back in an hour and see how it's working, and then I'll get into the claims. I have 2 colors, Natural Beige, which is 3, and Peach Medium, which is 4. There's the peach and there's the beige. The beige is a little bit too light for me, and the peach is too dark. There's a reason that I have these colors. I'm going to mix on the eye. Just a teeny bit of the peach. I had reordered one when the derm store was having a sale, and I thought I knew the color that I was. I'm like, no problem, I'll just order this. And when I finally received it, I just put it in my backup zone. I didn't even open it. And then the one I was working with, I dropped. Well, I didn't drop it, it fell all by itself. And I'm like, okay, well, I have that backup. And I went to look at that backup, and as it turns out, I got the wrong shade. So I had been using that peach shade, but now I see how incredibly dark it was, and I had ordered this light shade. So I had to order another one, and I like mixing them. I'm so sorry. I need to move you in. And now I'm just going to do a final blend with the finger, melt it in. Huh. I am having a bad under eye day. Interesting. There's something going on with this eye. It's just totally broken up immediately. I think I'm gonna take it off, because it's not happening on this eye, and I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with, I don't know, my sunscreen? Ow. Or there's something going on with my under eyes, because this kind of hurts. Okay, this is my Clarins eye cream, which I adore. It's stupid expensive. I mean, believe me, there's a lot more expensive things out there, but to me, most of my facial products are pretty attainable. Teeniest bit. Take it with this brush. And up, down, and all around. So I can kind of fill in whatever is going on under my eyes. Huh. And it kind of stings a little bit. I think I must have put something on my eyes recently. Oh, I did the Dr. Dennis Gross peel pads last night, and I might have gotten some under my eye. So that's why this is stinking, and this is why the eye's not looking so hot. But the truth is, this happens in real life. It doesn't mean that we don't put on concealer. We still have to do that, so I am going to reapply. This eye isn't stinging, and it's not doing the same thing. So, wow, some stinging going on. All right, I'm definitely going to need to take off some excess. I put on a little too much. As usual, I am going to powder under here, even though there's something going on under my eyes. I will say this again because this did happen when I was doing another concealer where my under eyes weren't looking so good, but this is, as I said, it's real life. This stuff happens, and we need to carry on and apply our makeup anyway. And the powder actually may make it look a little better. It does, actually. It smooths it out a little bit. And sometimes, like at 15 minutes, 20 minutes after you apply something, I noticed this happened to me recently. I come back and suddenly it's not looking so horrible, just kind of self-leveled in some way. Today there's definitely something going on with my under eyes, so I don't know that I'm going to get that. But I would say that the coverage is decent. It's not full, but it feels comfortable on the skin. It doesn't feel drying, and it doesn't look drying. And it does have a little bit of radiance to it. So I will be back in an hour, and we'll see what's going on. I'm back with my friend, the 13X. Let's take a look. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There is a little bit of troughing, just a little bit right here. And there's virtually no troughing right here. Considering what we started with, I'm pretty stunned. It seemed to have smoothed itself out. As I mentioned, it might do. I've seen it happen before with another one, Giorgio Armani Power Fabric. So this is very, very interesting. Now, looking in this mirror, I feel like the coverage, I could use some more right here. And I do see darkness right here, so it doesn't obliterate the darkness. But when I do this, by the way, it doesn't look so hot. But the darkness, part of it is the way of the shape right here, right? So it's puffy, and then it declines right here, and it's hard to get stuff to stay there. I think, though, there's some good potential here. If you don't have a nice puffiness right here and therefore a dark area right here, this could really work. This isn't part of the protocol. I usually wouldn't add something on, but I'm curious if I can do something here. And I'm just being really specific with my application. And even just blending it with this brush, because I think if I put my finger on this, it would just move it, and same thing with the Beauty Blender. But you see, even though I specifically have it in that darkness, you really can't tell because of the puffiness. When I pull it out like this, it's a little better, but it's just, I think, the nature of what I have going on here. Of course, I already powdered, so this is really just an experiment. Let go. I don't know, but now to me this looks like too much. Okay, enough experimenting. Let's get into details. Let me just move my little stuff here. All right. I left my glasses in the other room, so this will be fun. This is what I got from the By Terry website. Concentrated serum-like formula melts into the skin and acts as an intensive skincare treatment. Uses Dentsalus technology exclusive to By Terry Cosmetics. Dentsalus technology is made of two key components for total age repair action. Extracts derived from the hibiscus, I will write the rest right here, plant create the so-called mimic factor. A patented skincare ingredient that helps to boost collagen production, improve skin density, and minimize the appearance of wrinkles so skin looks visibly plumper and firmer. Considering what this eye looked like when I started, I think there's something to the plumper and firmer. Mimic factor, it's not a thing. It's just more marketing nonsense where they make up something, talk about it as if it's a thing when it's really not a thing. But there's some kind of plumping, I think, for this area. It didn't look as bad as it did when I put it on. Features flawless time control, FTC. A combination of soft focus, high reflecting powders that correct the skin tone by blurring fine lines, wrinkles, and imperfections to help restore the natural radiance of younger skin. It doesn't restore anything. It is an optical illusions with powders, and I actually believe that. I have to say one thing about By Terry, not all of their foundations, but a couple that I've tried, when they say they have light reflecting qualities, they're not lying. There's one of them, the Click Stick. There is such a beautiful radiance off of that. Unfortunately, like with most of their products, they don't have a lot of colors in it, but there's something about their powders in their foundations and concealer that is really undeniably there. And finally, added vitamin E protects from free radicals. All right. Those are the claims. It is expensive. It does have decent coverage when you build it. Your mileage may vary. If you have dark circles but not puffiness, you're going to build it and probably be pretty cool. Where with me, I'm probably never going to get to that point where it's just bright and seamless. And it just does not look heavy, and it does not look drying. Although, I look at a little like it's creasing right here. Understandably so, because I added a layer on top of powder. So that's the By Terry. I think as far as troughing goes, this worked really well. As far as coverage goes, it's not bad. Is it feeling dry? No, it does not. Is it creasing? Well, it's creasing a little bit right now, but I just put some on top of a powdered eye, so not really creasing. I don't think today would be a fair test for creasing because I did put that acid under my eyes accidentally yesterday, and we started off with a rough bit. But even though we started off with a rough bit from 2 feet away, I think it looks pretty good. Doesn't feel drying, doesn't look drying. It ticks a lot of boxes for me. Let's move on to the next. I'm back. I lied. We're not doing another one. Initially, when I shot these, I was thinking 4 for each one, so I would do a lead-in until the next. But, as you can see, we had a little problem with the last one, so 3 for this video. And that's it. Let me know what your thoughts are. I feel like while I was editing this, that the best look for me was probably the By Terry. But I have to say, when I'm editing, it's a small screen on the bigger screen. I didn't edit with big screen because I probably would never post anything if I ever did that. But the color could have been the reason why I thought that was the best one. I'm not sure, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. And this is the second in a series of 3. Hopefully it won't be 3 months until my 3rd comes up. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.